Hello, everybody, and welcome back to reviewing every single WrestleMania main event in history. Today, we are on episode 42, reviewing WrestleMania 39 Night 1, where we saw the Usos defend their undisputed WWE Tag Team titles against Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens. This match, obviously, is one of a large slew of good matches on WrestleMania 39, the most recent Mania I've watched in its entirety. And obviously, I've seen this match before. However, I haven't seen it since WrestleMania, so I've vaguely forgotten most of the middle parts of the match and really only remember the end. So I'll be giving you my reactions after I've seen the bout yet again. Just got finished watching the match. This match is a really good match. I think all of us who are watching this probably remember it. And if you're new to wrestling, I do definitely recommend you watch this match. However, I don't think I enjoyed it as much as I would have because since I've already seen it in its entirety and I watched it live, I knew how the match structure was and I knew what the ending sequence was, so I couldn't really get excited for some of the kickouts like I could for X7, let's say. But there are a lot of notes for this match, so let's get into them. There are a lot of opening notes especially. So Lil Uzi Vert comes out originally and raps his song, I don't remember what it's called, and right before the Usos come out, he gives a high five to both men and throws his one up as well. He is part of the bloodline confirmed. Owens and Zayn follow to a pretty large pop, and it is odd, this match, because I'm very happy for Owens and Zayn, but I also know that their title run afterwards was it was okay. It wasn't that good, and I feel there are a lot of title reigns like that. Like, I hate to say this, but RVD's WWE title reign was a great moment, but not a great title reign, I guess. If you look at it, it wasn't his fault, obviously. Well, technically it was because he got pulled over and everything. But still, nonetheless, let's get back to this. So the match begins with Zayn and Jimmy, but Jimmy immediately tags in Jay because they have the biggest history between one another, and they start to brawl. Sami's running the ropes, but Jay is also doing the same and tags in Jimmy. Sami doesn't realize this, and while he's running to Jay's corner, Jimmy pulls the ropes down and Sami flies outside the ring. Jimmy beats him up outside the ring, and Jay is tagged back in. He hits a suicide dive and continues the beatdown on the outside and hits a suplex before bringing Sami back in. The Usos continue tagging in and out with a very basic match formula at this point. Tag, beat, super kick, tag, beat down, toss, super kick. Pretty generic, yes, but it's how they work matches. I'm not surprised. The Usos continue, as I said, tagging in and out and in and out. But Sami gets a little bit of daylight by throwing both Usos out the ring and is able to crawl over after about 7 minutes and tag in Kevin. Kevin immediately hits a top rope swanton onto both men on the outside and continues on the legal man, Jay, inside the ring. Owens tries to stun her, but Jay reverses into a pop-up neck breaker for 2. This one's a little bit interesting. I actually like it. So because I don't have many of my figures here, I actually just got some today. We have Aleister Black, now known as Malachi Black, and he'll represent the baby faces in this match. And we have Pac, who will represent the Usos, or the heels in this match. So Owens is going for the stunner, but Jay is able to reverse, push him up, spin around, neckbreaker. It's pretty well executed, and it gives Jay the advantage. Kevin is immediately done, because he's been hit with nearly no moves at this point, but this one neckbreaker, Jay's back in control, even after being hit with swantons, cannonballs. A little bit odd. Kevin's resiliency apparently isn't the best thing in the world, but oh well. Jimmy tags in, but is immediately thrown out of the ring by Kevin, and KO tries a swanton onto a down Jay, but Jay gets his knees up, and Jimmy follows immediately after with an Uso splash for a near 2. Jay tries to stop another swanton attempt, but Sami stops him with an apron brainbuster. This one's really good. So, Kevin is on the top rope trying to get to, I think, Jimmy, who is on the mat for a swanton. But Jay runs in, is like, no, don't do that. Sami runs in behind him, spins him around, gets him in suplex position, and in the thumbnail for this video, if you notice, drops him brainbuster onto the apron. Kevin is able to connect with that swanton for a 2. Well, he doesn't really connect it. So generally, when you hit a swanton in kayfabe, you'd want a swanton to connect as such. You want kind of your back to land on the person. But Kevin lands like this. So he's giving a backwards headbutt to Jimmy Uso. Nonetheless, it gets a near 2. Sami tags in and hits an Uso splash of his own. Obviously, we love stealing moves when we have a big story rivalry. It does come up again a little bit later on. and that gets a 2. Jimmy is able to counter in a blue thunderbomb and tags in Jay without Sami realizing. So Sami hits the blue thunderbomb on Jimmy, but Jay immediately hits him with a super kick because putting the Usos back in control. Now, again, we're back to that same formula over and over again, and it's, tag in, elbow, elbow, oh, super kick. But one of the super kicks is really good. So right after that first super kick, while Sami's down, Sami's sitting there. He just hit the blue thunderbomb. Boom, super kick to the head. Jay picks him up, throws him into the rope, and hits like a jump sidekick super kick. It looks awesome. It looks like it really connects on Sami. Like, bounce off the ropes, boom, and it blows Sami up. And it looks something like this. I do Taekwondo, so I do know how to do things like this. He's like, Sami, go into the ropes. Blows him up with a super kick. Looks amazing. Jay follows that up with, guess what? Another super kick and takes his shirt off. Woo! Nobody really cares. He tags in Jimmy, and again, they keep on doing the same formula, hit stereo super kicks over and over and over again. Owens tries to interfere, but he gets caught with, here, I'm going to give you an opportunity. Guess what move they catch Kevin with? I'll give you 3 choices. Is it A, a tombstone, B, a super kick, or C, a wrist lock? If you guess wrist lock, you are in fact correct. Obviously, no, it's obviously a super kick. Keep up. It's the Young Bucks again. Super kick, pate. Bow. Song's a great song. Add it on your Spotify playlist. Owens again tries to interfere, thrown outside the ring. Both Usos continue super kicking Sami over and over again. I get it. It's cool. They beating down the guy that betrayed the bloodline. But it's just repetitive. Like, imagine if a match was just this. 1, 2, 3, hooray! And it would be fine if it was super kick. Oh, through some heavy forearms, toss into the ropes. Oh, super kick again. That's fine. But it's just super kick, pause, taunt, super kick, taunt. Like, it's a little bit of a slog, this part of the match, but the match does have a pretty good ending. I cannot discredit that. Sami continues kicking out at 2 every single time. They try the 1D, but Owens is able to trip Jimmy, who's running the ropes, and he can't do the cutter part of it, kind of the 3D, like the Dudley Boys did. He can't do that, so Sami's able to reverse Jay holding him up, try and roll him up, gets a 2. Now Owens, on the outside with Jimmy, tries a table power bomb on Jimmy, but Jay deals with Sami, rolls in, and both Usos do what I think is a double choke slam. It's sold like a double choke slam. I'm assuming that's what it is, because both Usos are up there. I don't have 2 of them, obviously. So, and Kevin just kind of launches himself up and goes through the table. I think it's a choke slam, not really something that the Usos have in their repertoire, but hey, you know what? Adding new moves is always inventive and fun. Zayn is now isolated, and they hit the 1D, but Sami kicks, which is the first time the move had ever been kicked out of up to this point. Again, I couldn't really pop for it as much as I probably should have because I knew that Sami wasn't going to get pinned here, but the crowd pops pretty heavily for it. Jay continues assaulting Sami. He hits a haluva kick of his own, Jay does, and mocks Sami further, but while Sami is being mocked, he just pops up out of nowhere with a corner buster suplex. It's kind of a fisherman's buster, kind of a throwback suplex. I don't remember the word for it, I'll be honest. I don't think I wrote it. An exploder suplex, where it's kind of a grip like this, and then it's just kind of a throwback, kind of a fall away slam plus a suplex, basically that. And finally, Sami is able to go in, tag in Owens. Owens hits pop-up power bombs on both men, and Sami hits Jimmy with a haluva kick, and Owens hits a stunner on Jay, getting a near 2. All 4 men stumble to their feet and start the "let's finish this" brawl, and Sami is thrown out, allowing Jay and Jimmy to abuse Kevin, get a double Uso splash along with some more stereo super kicks, only getting a 2. Again, a lot of great kickouts here. I like that they gave Kevin won because Sami's probably the more over person in the match, so I'm happy they gave Kevin his opportunity. The Usos continue the super kick party. Jay tries a superplex, however, it's reversed into one of Kevin's own. This move I've always kind of liked watching. So Jay's ready for the superplex. He's got the move hooked fully, but Kevin kind of drops down, slips down, pulls it off into one of his own. It's a nice looking move. Kevin does it occasionally, and I like how it looks. Jay stumbles into the corner after the superplex as Jimmy is thrown over the announce table, and Sami, while Jay's in the corner, stands in the opposite corner after being tagged in. Boom! Haluva kick one. Jay stumbles onto him like, ugh. Sami sets him back up. Boom! Haluva kick two. Oh. Jimmy tries to run in and save the match. Oh, Kevin. Stunner to Jimmy. Jimmy's outside of the ring. Jay's stuck in the corner one more time. Sami smiles this time. Boom! Haluva kick number three. Jay's out. 1, 2, 3. The Usos are now dethroned. Sami Zayn and Kevin Owens have won the undisputed tag titles. A very good match. I enjoyed watching this. I couldn't get as excited for it, again, because I knew where the kickouts were going to be. But it's still a good match, to say the least. I'm going to be giving this match an A. I believe Meltzer gave it a 5-star, but he is washed at this point, so I don't care. I'm going to be putting this match on my all-time list at 3rd overall. Again, it probably should be higher, but again, I knew how the match was going to go completely, so account that. It probably would be number 2 or 1, but the current top 5, if you are unaware, is as follows. 26, X7, 39, Night 1, 23, 37, Night 2. Do you agree? Do you disagree? No matter what, leave it down in the comments below. I'd love to read them. Make sure you have a good day, good evening, good night, good morning, good dawn, good dusk, good whatever. Make sure to watch any former or future episodes of this series, and goodbye.